Have you ever walked into a place that feels alive, like the walls have eyes and the shadows are watching? Well, let me take you to one such place, a house built not for the living, but for the dead. This is the story of the Winchester Mystery House and the horrors it hides. Sarah Winchester, the widow of William Wirt Winchester, heir to the Winchester rifle fortune, was once a wealthy, grieving woman. After losing her husband and baby daughter to illness, Sarah was consumed by guilt and fear. Why? Because the rifles her family sold were responsible for countless deaths. And those restless spirits, they wanted revenge. A medium told Sarah that the spirits were coming for her. To protect herself, she was told to build a house for them, a house that must never be completed. And so, construction began in 1884, and it never stopped. For 38 years, Sarah Winchester built and rebuilt the house. Staircases that led nowhere, doors that opened into walls, windows overlooking other rooms. It was a labyrinth of confusion. But why? She believed if the spirits got lost, they couldn't reach her. But sometimes, the spirits didn't care about walls or doors. In the heart of the house lies the seance room. Every night, at midnight, Sarah would lock herself in here. She would speak to the spirits, asking for their guidance on the house's construction. No one knows what she heard in return, but the workers would always find new, bizarre instructions the next morning. Some say, if you stand in this room long enough, you can still hear the echoes of those conversations, but I wouldn't recommend it. Even today, visitors and staff report strange phenomena, cold spots that make your breath visible, faint footsteps in empty hallways, and shadowy figures lurking in the corners of your eyes. But the most terrifying? The Faceless Woman. She's been seen in the mirrors, standing silently in dark corners, and even following people through the house. Witnesses say she has no eyes, no nose, no mouth, just a blank, pale face staring at you. No one knows who she is or what she wants. But if you see her, run. After Sarah's death in 1922, construction finally stopped. But the spirits, they stayed. To this day, people claim to hear the sound of hammers and saws, as if the house is still being built, still trying to confuse the dead.
And sometimes it feels like the house itself is alive, breathing, watching, waiting.
One night, a visitor stayed behind after closing hours. As they wandered the dark hallways, their flashlight began to flicker. The air grew heavy, and a cold breeze brushed past them. They turned a corner, and there she was, the Faceless Woman. She didn't move, didn't make a sound, just stood there, tilting her head as if trying to see them better. The visitor dropped their flashlight and ran, but they swear she followed. The Winchester Mystery House isn't just a place. It's a trap for the living and a prison for the dead. So if you ever visit, remember, don't wander off alone. Don't look too long into the mirrors. And whatever you do, don't turn around if you hear footsteps behind you. Because in this house, the dead don't rest. They never will.